I might be reaching here, but Zack Snyder posting DC stuff again does not feel random, and I think there's a reason why fans are starting to talk again. What's up, guys? Jay here. We gotta talk about this because the timing of this Snyder activity is kind of interesting, and the reason why this even matters is because Snyder fans literally got the Snyder Cut released before. So when he starts posting Justice League content again, people pay attention. So Zack has been posting Justice League behind the scenes stuff again because of the anniversary that's coming up on the 18th, and one of the captions even said, "You know what comes next." Now that could mean nothing, but Snyder fans don't see that as nothing. He's currently working with Turkey Alex Sheik on a UFC movie called Brawler, and if you don't know, this guy funds massive entertainment projects. So naturally, people start connecting the dots like rich investor, friends with Snyder, unfinished DC story. And that's kind of like where the theory starts, because this guy, Turkey, is a huge Zack Snyder fan, and he's a huge Justice League fan. And third, whether people like it or not, the Snyder fan base still exists, and Hollywood follows money, always. And let's be real for a second here. This does not mean that Zack Snyder is coming back tomorrow. James Gunn is still running DC. Nothing has officially been confirmed or announced. But if you were to ask me, I don't think Snyder comes back to lead the DC universe. I do think if he ever returns, it would probably be something small like an Elseworld project, maybe an animated movie or a special event like an IMAX relaunching the Justice League movie that you can go see. Because you have to remember that James Gunn still has a contract until next year, and there are theories that this could be his last run, meaning after the Man of Tomorrow, he's going to be leaving because James Gunn has a problem with these people. But I also want to see James Gunn to finish his stories, which is, you know, the Supergirl, the Man of Tomorrow, the Lanterns. But I do want to show this graph of showing why there's interest in Zack Snyder. He brought money. Rather, if you didn't like his movies, he brought the money, which, if you think about it, it's always about the money. Since James Gunn has taken over, they haven't made any money at all, basically. And if you think about it, they even lost and lied about Superman, the movie, whatever, Legacy, and the name Superman was in the title and it didn't sell. This is where I think DC might be learning some lessons right now. Because look at Peacemaker. James Gunn clearly thought the show was gonna be a big pillar for the DC direction. And don't get me wrong, it has fans and I like some of it, but compared to the old DC universe when Zack had it, we had a better lineup, potentially one of the best if they just stuck with it. And for some odd reason, James Gunn feels that we should have started with Creature Commandos, Lanterns, Clayface, Superman I can give, but then after that we get Supergirl, then we get what, like another Superman movie? And hear me out, the reason why we haven't got Batman is because they're gonna do Matt Reeves' Batman and we're not gonna get James Gunn's Batman. I feel like we're not gonna get the Brave and Bold. That's just me though. DC doesn't fully know what they're doing right now with their direction, and if I can go back in time and tell my younger self 10 years ago I believe that DC was gonna have a great slate, we haven't even done like a 3 trilogy, meaning like a 3-part of our story of DC universe. Like, why do you think I left, man? This is so like, ugh, just stick to something, please. And we could talk about Supergirl. If that movie doesn't do box office numbers, it might be the end for James Gunn. Some of you guys wanted my opinion on it, and I kind of like what they're going with the Supergirl more than Superman. Some of you guys might hate me, but I was just not a fan of the Superman movie that James Gunn did. I thought it was okay, but it's not my Superman. I am working on a video on that to give more information as why I feel like that. So again, if you haven't, subscribe, like, do all that good stuff so you never miss out on a video. But back to Supergirl. Supergirl looks to be the most James Gunn movie, anything he's done recently. That's even including Peacemaker. Something about it has a Guardians of the Galaxy feel, and I'm all for it. But if this movie doesn't do good, then it's gonna make James Gunn even look worse right now. Like, apparently the story is much darker and more serious compared to the Superman, and I don't even know my boy Jason Momoa could save this as him being Lobo, because that's something we've all been asking. I think I even requested that in the first Injustice game when I was like, yo, Jason Momoa should totally play Lobo, but we got him as Aquaman. But I am excited for the Supergirl, even though it's just like whatever. It's just, I don't know, like maybe in a different universe where like we have a perfect slate of DC movies, I still feel that Supergirl is an odd pick. If you were to ask me what are the DC movies that if I were to start my own slate right now, what would it be? Start over, right? We have to start with Batman. I think that's the most logical reason because it sells the most. Second, I would actually do the Flash, and here's why. Flash does something that the other characters don't. Not only does he speed up, time, he also speeds up what else is out there, not just in the dark universe of Batman. He can start talking about Green Lantern. He can start talking about Wonder Woman. He's a scientist. They start talking about these things. So that's what I would do. I would just do the Rogue as the first one, Captain Cold, Heat Wave Wizard, just to get it on track. Then third, Wonder Woman. Fourth, Green Lantern. Fifth, I would do a Justice League movie. And then you're like, where is Superman? Superman would be in the Justice League movie. That, I know that sounds crazy, but it would work. And you're asking yourself, how would it work? Well, we're getting off topic for a second, but basically, you think about it, we have like a trilogy of characters already. Everybody wants to see the big boy in the blue, right? Why not introduce that in the Justice League movie? That would get a lot of people. You introduce characters that are not as popular as, maybe Superman. Not saying the other characters are not. Of course they are, but you know what I mean. Superman's on a whole new level. He's probably second place behind Batman, or you can also argue that, Wonder Woman's right there as well. But if we're going to start from like Zack Snyder, like what does he do in this scenario? Do you do straight up to the Justice League 1, 2, and 3? I mean, Zack Snyder has already posted it in the Dallas archives. I forgot what they're called. This place right here, right? You can actually go read the whole story. And it's an interesting story. Maybe I'll make a video on it. Now, listen, there's some things I don't like from Zack Snyder, and the whole, Lois Lane being with Batman, that was weird. But I get his vision. I get the reasoning, but you just don't do that with certain characters. I don't know. But I don't know. That's just Zack. And that's why I love him, because I think like he's the one that always breaks the rules on certain things, but there's certain things that you just don't cross. And I don't know, maybe I'll make a video, let me know. So again, why is this all happening? Well, Snyder is posting again about DC. The anniversary is timing up, new connections with the Saudis. Fans are still pushing for Zack to finish his story, and the people that keep leaving comments saying I don't like James Gunn, come on, dude, really? It's just so draining, like reading like negative comments again, coming back to the channel. But hey, shout out to the supporters out there that are still watching me. But I'm curious to see what you guys think. Would you actually want Snyder to come back, or are you ready just to move forward with James Gunn's DC universe? Also, let me know if you like this format. I'm trying new things, and also we'll be live streaming soon on this channel to get more watch time so your boy can get the monetization back. But again, I appreciate everyone watching. My name is JaeRoar, and I am the best at what I do, and that's giving you that 1-2 punch. See you next time.